When rules can be referenced in several other rule types. Here we are going to look at how they are being used for conditional processing of cases. We can also use a when rule to conditionally display UI elements, which will be covered in some other lessons in this course. We use skip a stage if the when rule returns true, or process a stage if the when rule returns false. Click on the quote stage and select Configure Stage Behavior. We see a when rule, no quote requested has already been entered for skip stage when field. If this when rule returns true, the entire quote stage and all the steps in that stage will be skipped. We use process a step if the when rule returns true, or skip the step if the when rule returns false. Get IT approval is a process and is listed as a step in the approval stage for the purchase request case. This process is required only if the item purchased is a hardware or software item. We see the when rule, IT approval required, has already been entered in the step configuration. If this when rule returns true, the step is processed or else it is skipped. This when rule returns true if the category of the item purchased is HW or SW, indicating it's a hardware or software item respectively. We have looked at how the stage step behaviors are altered with when rules. We can also use a when rule to take alternate paths in a flow listed in a step. The Program Manager approval assignment can be bypassed in the Program Manager approval flow. As the business has indicated, there is no need to get this approval when the total cost of the purchase request is less than $100. Click on Configure Process Detail under the approval stage to open the flows in the outline editor. Add a decision shape in the Get Program Approval flow. Change the decision shape type to fork so that we can enter or select a when rule on the connector. Enter the step name is PR Cost LT 100. Move the existing connector and add a connector so that the decision shape of a fork type is in the middle of the start shape and the assignment shape. Add another connector from the decision shape to the end shape. Edit the connector and change the condition type to when. Enter an appropriate likelihood and enter is PR Cost LT 100 for the when rule field. Click on the magnifying glass to create this when rule. The record identifier, that is the rule name is PR Cost LT 100. In the new rule dialog for short description, we enter is PR Cost LT 100. Our when rule only contains one condition. Therefore, we'll use the Quick Create feature to create this when rule. In the when expressions field, we select the total PR cost property and enter less than 100. We then click Quick Create. This when rule is created and we are back at the Connector Properties dialog box. Click OK to return to the outline view. Edit the connector between the decision shape and the assignment shape and change the condition type to else. If the purchase request cost is not less than $100, this else condition flow path is processed. Click OK and click Save to save the changes. Click back to Stages to return to the stages. With the decision shape and when rule, we see how we can take alternate paths in a flow. The bypassing condition can be for an assignment, or any number of shapes in the flow for that matter. Open the flow in outline view and open the when rule we just created by clicking on the magnifying glass from the connector properties. This when rule will return a value of true if the total purchase request cost is less than $100, and a value of false if the total purchase request cost is more than $100. To create a when rule that evaluates multiple conditions, it's typically easier to use the Conditions tab. For example, if we want to create a when rule that returns true if the total purchase request is within a range, say between $100 and $5,000, we can create a new when rule with the name is PR Cost Within Range and click on the magnifying glass. Enter a short description and click Create. In the Conditions tab, double-click to add the first condition. For the first value, select Total PR Cost from the list of Smart Prompt values. For the relational value, select greater than or equal to sign. For the second value, enter 100. Click OK to finish adding the first condition. To add the second condition, click on Actions and then Insert Condition. For the first value, select Total PR Cost from the list of Smart Prompt values. For the relational value, select less than or equal to sign. For the second value, enter 5,000. Click OK to finish adding the second condition, and click Save to save this when rule. We have created a when rule that returns true if the total purchase request cost is within range of $100 and $5,000. If it does not fall within that range, the when rule returns false. We have learned how we can use a when rule to alter stage behavior, step behavior, and flow behavior. In addition, we learned how to create a when rule using the Quick Create option for simple conditions, and how to use the Condition tab to set multiple conditions.